Hi guys, so I'm going to do today's weekly tarot read, and then I did thank you guys in the last read, but if you didn't see that video, I made it to 1,000 subscribers. I'm really happy about that. Thank you guys so much. I do now have a community tab, so keep an eye on that. I may post things, I may have offers and so forth on readings that I'm doing. If anybody is interested in having a reading with me, you can find me on my Facebook page, message me there. I'm going to do the Everyday Enchanted Tarot for this one, which is that wild social kind of deck and so forth. And so we'll go ahead and do the reading with that, kind of what's going to be going on in the world and so forth, and things that you can look forward to. So, and then I'll probably grab some, maybe I should get them ready, oracle decks for the light people, you know, kind of messages of spirit that we can kind of look for. So let's go ahead and begin. Okay. And I love this deck. It's just, it's a busy deck. Everyday Enchantment Tarot. And Enchanted Tarot, excuse me, I should say. So really, it was designed a few years ago, but it really has a 2020 vibe. I have found some of the images in it are very much like that. And it's very interesting, you know, to see what I get with this deck. Let's pull that out. Yeah, that one too. It's a big one to shuffle, though. It's very hard to shuffle. That's the only thing I don't like about big decks. I love the image and the artwork, but shuffling is hard. And we just had a full moon in Pisces, so I know that, which it's exalted in Pisces, so it's normally positive, but it's a very emotional type of a moon that we just had. So I know a lot of people really had to dig deep with that one. And I don't read reversals with this one. It's just too busy of a deck. Okay, so let's see what the message. I'm going to cut the deck. All right, very first card. Oh, nobody's going to like my weekly tarot reads if I keep getting cards like this. So the very first card is the Devil. I know. See, that's what I'm saying. Nobody's going to like my weekly tarot reads if I do these. But definitely you can see he's kind of reckless looking and so forth. So I definitely do get the message for some of you. You know, during this time, you know, try not to be reckless and giving into temptation. I know a lot of you are kind of frustrated. He's got like the alcohol in there as well. So just, I know we're dealing with a lot of things that are very depressing that are going on in the world, but we got to be taking care of ourselves, you know, and don't let certain temptations sway you from the path, which is very important during this time. But I know we're dealing, it feels like a battle of light and dark that is going on in the world right now. You know, we all are kind of facing that. There is some truth in that, in the sense that if you look at my featured video, The World in the Collective Shadow, we are all kind of facing our shadows during this time. Everybody has to do it. When Jesus went to the mountain, he had to face the shadow. He had to face Satan and his own temptations and everything, so he could be fully aware of them, what could trip him up on the path. So you could say we're all kind of doing that. We're all on the mountain facing the devil in our own way during this time. So I've got the Three of Cups. So this is a celebration card but it's also, to me, a lot of times a friendship card. So during this time, I also kind of look at that. Even though there is a lot going on, get with your good friends, and have those moments together, and kind of bond over the situation, share experiences and so forth that you are going through. Friends are really needed at this time. This is not the time. I know we're in isolation to a degree, but we need to have that kind of good friends and still try to have some good times during it. It safely, get with family even and friends, so forth. We need to boost each other up. So then at the foundation is the card Strength. So definitely, and you can see, she's got a lot of power there. She's got a very good guard dog there as well, but she's there. That dog is pretty tame, under her and stuff. So during this time, we want to try to be strong. Many of you are the light workers that are watching my video and so forth. You have more power than you think. We're dealing with these light and dark forces. Obviously, the devil is the first card. We can feel like we're just up against, this massive obstacle and so forth. So, but during this time, bring about your strength. You are stronger than you realize, which is very important to understand that. Now, I've got the Four of Cups. This is a pretty good traditional kind of design. But see how he is just he's got his 3 cups spilled, and he is just not paying attention to the offering. This is very important, especially the light folk, who are like just so frustrated at the world, that Spirit is really trying to reach out and offer them something. So some of you may have lost relationships or jobs, various things during this time, and you're just feeling like, woe is me, is kind of the situation with the Four of Cups. But there is an offering, and we're not always willing to take that offering, like we just kind of shrug it off, but it's the best thing for us. So say if you're in a situation where you lost a job and there is this job offer coming through, maybe it's not exactly what you wanted, but Spirit is saying, take it, this is the best thing for you. So just kind of think about, what is my offering? What is being offered to me? Because it's not an empty situation where Spirit's just going to give you a loss, but not give you something to make up for that loss. So look at that. What are you being offered during this time? So I've got the 3 of Coins, and I do kind of, now that I see that below the 4 of Cups, I do see some situations. I can see this even the small businesses and so forth. So if there is a situation where you have thought about going into something more unique of a work situation, we got to kind of start from ground zero in a certain situation. That's what we do. But then that offering is there to be able to do it. Maybe it's not exactly what you want, but you can build on that offering, is what the 3 of Pentacles is saying. You can build on that and make something grow that is beneficial. I know it's real hard to imagine growth during a time when everything is breaking down, but inevitably things have to grow. I've even got sunflowers on, right? Everything has to grow, right? So even when there is destruction, there is going to be creation building upon it. So kind of look at, what is my offering and what can I make grow? And that seems perfect because I've got the Queen of Wands. So I've got some of you, especially my ladies watching this, where can you really lead? See, she's kind of a conductor. So where is that situation where you can be a leader? Many of you are being called to lead in certain situations. We're dealing with that devil, and we've got those light, dark forces, but you are being asked to be a leader in some capacity. Speak your truth and get that out there. Use your power. Where are you most powerful? I feel like is another thing that Spirit is saying there for you, especially my ladies. Where are you most powerful on your spiritual walk? What is your strength? Notice the strength card is below. And Spirit is saying, bring that to the surface. It is now time to lead, and lead people in the right direction. They need you right now. So then I've got the Ten of Cups. Now, as I look at this, everybody looks really happy. We've got the rainbow, the children are happy, and so forth. So we really want all of this manifestation, even though we've got this breaking down, we have the opportunity to build something positive. We just got to keep our eyes on that rainbow. Okay, the storm is going to clear. Inevitably, it's not going to be like this forever. And we need that ray of hope. That's kind of what I'm hearing from Spirit. We need that ray of hope. It's not always going to be like this. Spirit is not trying to put us in a situation where everything is destroyed and nothing will evolve from it. I remember, if you watch some of my other reads, this is about the evolution process that we are dealing with. Now, as you can see, the Seven of Wands, it kind of looks like a protest in this, right? See, this is why I like that deck, or this deck, is because it's got such a 2020 vibe to it. I've got some hopeful scenes as well as some chaotic scenes. And you can see they're kind of like protesting for the climate. But one of the messages of the Seven of Wands is really stand up and stand your ground. So I've got the power of the Queen of Wands here to really use their voice and stand their ground. So many of you, it's time to stand up, and you may need to defend the little guy who can't defend themselves so easily. So some of you watching may even be at some of these protests and so forth. So of course, we want to be peaceful and everything, but we do need more people using their voice and not being afraid to stand up. If you don't do it, who will? Now, I've got the Knight of Cups, so I look at that standing up situation. But we also want to bring love into the equation. That's really what they are doing right here. Knight of Cups, is making that offering of love. And that's especially what us light people want to be doing. We do want to be making an offering of love. We don't want to just be aggressive, when we stand our ground and so forth. We want to do it with compassion. We want to do it that, I do love people. Maybe I don't necessarily agree with you. Maybe I don't necessarily agree with all you stand for and you're about, but I still love you as a human being. We are one. So that's especially what I feel when I see the Knight of Cups, is don't forget to bring love into the equation as we are dealing with these times. Now, the hopes and fears position, I've got the Three of Wands. So this especially, you can see, they're all going on a journey and so forth. It is very much a journey card. And I've told a lot of you that I've read for, some of you are meant to kind of embark on a journey. Obviously, this looks a little perilous, right? This is really a challenge. So we got to kind of look at, sometimes we just got to kind of get out of here and go on a journey to find the self. So I want you to kind of look at, where can I go? Maybe it's even in your own backyard. Maybe you have that hiking trail, for example, that you can go on. Try to connect to spirit somewhere outdoors is kind of the message I am seeing. We got to get a little away from the chaos. There's a lot of chaos like this. Yes, we will throw ourselves into the fray for certain situations, but at the same time, we got to get away and connect to spirit, especially in nature. And then this is a pretty good ending card, the Four of Wands. So I do feel a lot of you have the ability to create that stability even among all this craziness. And that's what we really got to aim for, is creating stability to the best of our ability in our physical world. We are dealing with, so much chaos that is going on in the world right now. But within my home, and we have the Ten of Cups, remember that, and that is especially about creating a happy home life. Can I create that balance and that positive? So, with the situation, I have that balance. We can still do that. This is something I still work for, even in my own physical world. I know there's a lot of craziness going on, but I need to provide a sanctuary for my little one, during this time, so they can kind of escape all that for a little bit. Maybe they see it on social media, but we need to kind of get away from it. It's so crazy. So I'm going to pull some oracle cards for the light people that are watching my read. For the most part, it's very positive, though. But yes, I mean, even with the Devil as the first card, yeah, we're dealing with some light and dark forces. and they're very strong, and they're very, I guess the best way to put it is they're very distinct right now. Good and bad with that. When they're very distinct, they can really go in opposition, but they become very clear what they are. Now, this is very interesting because I drew the Queen of Wands in the last layout, but I've got the Priestess. How are you being called to lead? So kind of look at that situation. For my light people, you are meant to become leaders. Maybe you're like, I'm really not a leader type of person. Well, you know what? Spirit had you awaken, so you are. That's what the awakening card is for. You are meant to lead. If you are awakened, you are meant to lead something. We can't expect everybody to lead the way for us during this time. So we got to kind of look at situations. Where can I lead? Where can I use my voice? Where is my expertise? What knowledge do I have that I can share with the world that can guide them to a better place? At the same time, make sure I do have the take a break card. So on certain situations, there are certain points we got to lead and do things, but make sure you take those breaks. Get that rest. That's definitely a message that I've been getting, and I can even see that one for myself. Yes, lead on some things, but don't forget to take a break. Get away from the fray a little bit. So it's pretty much a lot of it, dealing with light dark forces. But today's message is still, we want to create that stability. And I know a lot of you, with incorporating, and that's what, especially what I want my reads to do when we're dealing with these forces that are going on in the physical. How could I still incorporate my spiritual and create some stability and bring love to the situation with that, the Knight of Cups? How can I bring love to the situation at the same time? Without love, we are lost. We always have to bring that in there. And I hope you guys enjoyed my read.